Hey there everyone, back with another video, and in this video we will be learning an interesting concept in JavaScript. It's all about this keyword. Yes, it seems to be confusing and it seems to be tricky, and it seems to be again most of the developers will say that this is the weirdest thing that we have in JavaScript. Yes, I do agree with them, but if you master this, it is again guys, it is the simplest concept that we have in JavaScript, right? So in this video we will be learning in depth about this keyword, and we will be diving deep into this, and we'll be learning all of the things that comes under this keyword, and we'll be learning how this keyword being used in different places and being used in different scenarios with an examples, right? So we will be diving deep into this. So if you watched this video till the end, you will be for sure mastering this concept in JavaScript, right? So without wasting the time much over here, and let's begin with what is this keyword, right? So the first thing that you need to understand here is the first part of the definition of this keyword is this refers to an object, right? I hope that you know what you mean by an object, right? So oops concept do matters here, right? So if you don't if you are not at all familiar with objects and classes, make sure that you click on the link which is in the description, which I have explained all about objects in JavaScript. So yeah, so this refers to an object. So this is the first part that you need to understand. So whenever you are using this, it is always an object. So this is the first part, and the second part is not it is just an object, but it has something to do with that object. So what it is, which executing the current JavaScript code. So again guys, this is one single line statement. So this refers to an object which is executing the current JavaScript code, right? So we have a JavaScript code that is being executed by some or the other object in JavaScript, right? So in the browser we will be having our JavaScript code being running, right? So that will be run by an object which is a global object called as window, right? We'll be coming to that in a later stage. So yeah, this is the first thing that you need to understand. So this is the guys, again, this is the definition of this keyword, which tells all about this keyword does in JavaScript. So with that being said, let us understand how this keyword is being used in different scenarios, right? So the first thing that you need to understand is the use of this. Yeah, again, the use of this in the first place is global scope. So if we use this keyword in global scope, how it will work, so we'll be studying that. And secondly, if we use this keyword in functions, how it works in function, so we'll be again learning that. So similarly, in the third point, if we use this keyword in method, how gonna it work in methods? So likewise, if we use in strict mode, how this will be working, and in constructor function and in events, right? So these are the guys, again, these are the placeholders where this keyword will be used, and depending upon the placeholders like global scope, function and method, its behavior or its mechanism or its working ethics, or yeah, not working ethics, yeah, the working mechanism of this will change depending upon the place where you are using it, right? So if you use in method, it will work in different kind. Again, if you use the same keyword in function, it will work entirely different, right? So yes guys, these are all the different places where we will be using this keyword, right? So let's jump in and let's learn how this keyword will be working in global scope now. So now let us understand how this will be used in the global scope, right? So again, I have all the definition of this over here and all the places where we will be using this, right? So this is for your reference. So now first let us dive deep into the first place, that is a global scope. So now what again guys, what do you mean by global scope? Whenever we are using this in a script, right? So this is a script which is called as external.js. So if you say this inside this script, it is a global scope, right? So now what I'm gonna do, I'll just, for the example's sake, I'll just have some console over here and I'll just say this. So now what this gonna work now? So this is again an object which refers to an object which is executing the current code. So now if I just check the output over here, it prints the window object, right? So whenever if you use this inside a script, or in other words in a global scope, this refers to a window object, right? So now for an example, I will just say var I is equal to 90. So I think that you know what is the difference between var and the let keyword for declaring a variable. If you don't, please check out the videos in this playlist, in this course. You will be getting to know that, right? So if we use I, it will be attached to this window object, right? So now if I just say this dot I, what will be the output? It will be 90, right? So yes, this is how this gonna work in script, or in other words in global scope. So now let us know about functions. So now let us understand how this gonna work in functions. I mean, this keyword gonna work in functions. So now what I'm gonna do, I'll just grab this off. Instead of having the same this in global scope or in script, we will have a function called as fun over here and paste it over that, the same thing inside function. So now for the simplicity, I will just erase this off, or else I'll just comment this. And I'll just let us understand what it prints if we use just only this. So now if I just refresh the browser, and as you can see, there's nothing. The reason is because again we need to call that function, right? So now if I just check the output of it, again it's the same thing, right? So no matter whether you use this keyword in global scope or in function, this refers to window object, right? So you need to remember that. So no matter whether you use that in global scope or function, the object is a window object, right? So now if I just again uncomment this, if I just try to access this dot I, let us say what will be the output. So the reason is because we are getting undefined. The reason is the I is not a global scope, because it is, since it is defined inside this function, it is not a global scope. Now what I'm gonna do, I'll just grab this and paste it over here, which is now a global scope. Now the output will be 90, right? So this is a window object, right? So now let us understand how this keyword gonna work in methods. So again guys, I hope that you know what is the difference between a function and a method. Function is associated to a script and method is associated to an object, right? So I'll just erase this off and I'll quickly have an object called as obj, and I will just have some let me say key value paste like age, and I'll just have some 90, and I will have some method over here like add age. So inside this method I will just have some anonymous function over here, and now inside this function I will have some console dot log. So inside this log, what I'm gonna do, I'll just print this, right? So now again guys, let me call this function by obj dot add age method. So now guys, what will be the output if I print this inside this method, right? So it will print the object, right? It's an obj object which has got age and it's add age method, right? So remember guys, if you use this inside a method, it refers to its object. So now instead of printing this object, I will just say this dot age. So now what it will print, it will print 90, which means it is an age has got 90 as its value, which is in key value paste, right? So this is the thing that you need to understand. So this refers to, if we use it in method, it refers to an object. So now let us understand how this keyword gonna work in strict mode. I hope that you know what is script mode. So what it basically does, it will strictly make you to adhere to some of the naming conventions that we have in JavaScript, and if you do some or else if you have some discrepancy, it will throw you an error. So that is the script mode that we have, right? So now I just made a simple mistake over here. It is not just strict mode, it is the use of this in strict mode inside a function. So that is what it is, right? So what if we use this keyword inside a function when we have a strict mode? So that is the meaning of that. So now let us jump in and let us understand how it's gonna work. So now I'll just have a strict mode statement just like this, use strict. So this is how you use strict mode. So now what if I have a function called as fun. So inside this function I'll just again have a console.log over here, and I'll just say this. So now I'll just call the function. So now what will be the output? It will be undefined, right? So whenever you use this keyword inside a function with the strict mode, which is enabled now, it will throw you an undefined. So this is how it works, right? So this is how this keyword gonna work inside the strict mode. So let us understand how it gonna work inside a constructor function. So now let us understand the usage of this keyword inside a constructor function. And please be noted, we will be no longer be using strict mode. So now I'll just convert this simple function into a constructor and modify it. Like I'll just receive a parameter called as age. So inside this constructor function, what I'm gonna do, I'll just say this dot age is equal to age. So what this means that we have an object with the parameters of age, and I will be assigning this with the age which I am gonna receive for this constructor function, right? So I'll just create an object called as obj over here with the help of new keyword by calling this constructor function and also passing an age, right? So now what will be the output? It will be this, right? The object which we have created using the constructor function. And note that if I just say this, it is this object which we have created. So now if I just say this dot age, what will be the output? It will be 90 because we have assigned it over here in the above line. So now similarly, if I'll just say I'll just erase this off, and what if I just have a console over here outside of the log, outside of this constructor function, and I'll just say obj the object, right? So it will be an object with the same constructor function, right? So yes guys, this is all about the usage of this keyword inside a constructor. So if we use this keyword inside constructor, it refers to an object which is associated to that. That's it. So now let us understand the usage of this keyword in events. So in case if you are using JavaScript for the front end side, I mean for the HTML and CSS stuff, so event will be, of course you will be having events in your JavaScript. So now how this gonna work, I mean this keyword gonna work in case of event. So now I have a simple HTML code which has got external.js script attached to that, which is this JavaScript code. So inside this HTML, what I'm gonna do, I'll just have some input box, and it's not an input box, it is an input button, sorry, and I'll just have some button over here. So the type is button. I will not be having a name because I'm not sending anything to the server, and I will just have a value like click me. So I'll just refresh the browser, and as you can see we got the button over here. So when we click on button, we need to have some events, right? So on click, I'll just call the function called as fun, right? So I'll just have I'll go to the JavaScript and I'll just convert this this constructor function, which is this, to a normal function, and I don't receive anything over here. And I will just say in the console, I will just say hi to check whether it is working or not, right? So as you can notice here, yeah, it's on click, and yeah, it's working perfectly fine, and we got the high, right? So now what if, along with calling this fun function, what if I just pass this, right? This is the reason why we are learning this keyword, right? So if you use this keyword inside the HTML page while you're calling a function in an event, so this refers to the HTML object, which is the HTML element. So this refers to the calling element inside the HTML to the JavaScript. So now what I'm gonna do, I will just say I need to receive that object, which is the element, the calling element, and I will just say obj. Instead of printing hi, what I'm gonna do, I will just say obj. So now if I just check the output and click the button, and as you can notice, it is an object of the calling element. So this is how it works in case if you are using JavaScript for the front end side. So in this way you can check, you can play around with the properties of that element, like value or type and whatever else. If you have an ID, you can access that with the help of this keyword, which refers to an object containing the, what you call it as, the HTML element, right? So yes guys, this is all about this keyword in JavaScript, which will be used in these 6 places, right? In global scope, function, method, and inside a function in script mode, and constructor function, and lastly an event. I hope that this video made your day, and I have explained to you all about this keyword using all of the scenarios and examples and the places, and with all the in-depth explanation. So yes, this is all about this keyword. So please make sure that if you are new to this channel, please make sure you subscribe, and also hit that bell button to receive the notification, and also like this video, share this video, and please comment, let me know what is your comments, right? So in the comment section below. So yes guys, this is all about the thing that I need to tell all about this keyword in this video, and let me see you in the next video. Till then, take care.